Yo, what is up? A Link to the Past Randomizer fans out there. I hope you guys are ready for another awesome daily race here, which is featuring open mode today. My name is Trojan Dude 12. And I'm gonna maybe see if I'll get a partner in here with me, but for the time being, I'll try to help out here with the solo commentary. Nope. All right. I think we are back right now. Hopefully we'll get to see somebody's menu here shortly, so we can get a update on what people have. But otherwise, it looks like everyone went up towards Lost Woods and Lumberjack check. It looks like a bottle on the Lumberjack ledge. So for right now, Aghanim is not required. It could be gating something at the sick kid, though, so we'll have to wait and see for that. And a nice cache of rupees so far. Looks like they're going to have enough for the bottle vendor right away, which is always nice to route in. And as we see, we see Giselle get the power gloves and the book. We got literacy as well in the Thieves' Hut. And EvilAsh is going to come in and pick those up as well. So we got one piece of access to Death Mountain. We just need a lamp. This could also mean a really early check into Desert Palace as well. And we'll find out really quickly if that's boots locked or not. I see somebody in chat mention, yes, those gloves did come with some extra lead in them. That's why you need it. Oh, and there's also a sword here. So that's going to help out a little bit. Definitely a better option to go into Desert now that you can fight stuff off in those rooms. So we don't have too much other than the book for Desert to tell us where to go. We'll see if Kakariko provides us any more answers. Well, that's partially more of the answers as well, with Moon Pearl in the chicken house. So it looks like either at this point we're going to see them see the logic take them up to Death Mountain or give them access with either another mid upgrade or the hammer to get to the Dark World. But the other option is if they find a cape soon, that can also open up Agha really early. So looks like everyone is taking about the same route. Nothing at the race game, just a hard container, and most of the guys on here will probably opt to skip it. We're pretty confident that they don't need a ton of hearts even in the early game. Giselle seems to be a step ahead, going into the dam area of South World. Nothing so far there. Getting the single rupee. One of the 2 single rupee drops in the game. And I believe I'm having JTN join me for commentary. How are you doing, bud?
Doing good. Great to be back, and glad it's not another key sanity and just an open seed today for me.
Yeah, it's a little more straightforward. Sure, you don't need all that.
Whoa, there's a hammer.
Oh, did we get hammer back of escape? Or mini Moldworm?
Mini Moldworm. EvilAsh got in the leftmost chest. Seems I came in just at the best time. And we got another one also. Gesellschaft? Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right.
I believe that's correct. So that is for right now, that is Rip Agate. Actually, that is completely Rip Agate.
Yep, hammer and gloves, we can access the Dark World over by Eastern, so no need for Aghanim 1 today.
We got some early Ice Rod checks, very interesting considering they don't have the boots, but it's definitely an out-of-the-way place that you don't want to get trolled by early, or trolled by late, so they're checking it early. It's just a big 20 today.
Yeah, yesterday was a different story. This time, just a big 20.
So since you're just joining me, I didn't really have anyone to ask some of the preliminary questions with. What do you think the troll item is going to be in this seed today? Or do you think it'll just be a jet seed?
Those who've been following me in the chat know I look for one thing and one thing only, and that is a required master shovel.
So you like yourself some fetch quests, eh?
Fetch quest every day.
I'm an overworld freak when I run open mode. I like getting all of those out of the way as soon as they open up, especially if I have flute. So I'm right there with you, man.
EvilAsh going into Hype Cave. Let's see if it lives up to the name.
Dude, the sub 10 Hype Cave. You don't see that very often.
Nah, definitely your overworld idea is playing in. There's the single arrow and outside of a heart container, not a lot.
No, that was an important Hype Cave. They can now complete the game. They found the validation arrow.
True, and Edgeworth's going to be happy with this mini Moldworm in a moment.
We had a map check, all pendants in the Dark World. We had a green pendant at Skullwoods, pendants at Swamp Palace and Ice Palace. And I believe there was a required 6 at Thieves Town? Oh, I'll have to double check.
I'll give you details on that. I managed to screen cap it.
Alright, awesome. No, we see EvilAsh and Gesellschaft go to the south side of Dark World, just kind of near Haunted Grove. And they're routing themselves back up towards the dig game.
Yeah, my screen cap unfortunately caught the wrong frame without the numbers on the crystals. But they're definitely crystals at Turtle Rock, Pod, Thieves Town, and Mire. Don't know which ones they are, but I know they are crystals.
Okay. That's always nice to see all the pendants in the Dark World, since the Light World ones tend to be shorter. But it's always interesting. Last open mode seed I ran, Pendant Swamp was a really big deal. So I'm always a big proponent of stuff in Swamp. So I hope there is
crystals
something
5
there.
and 6 both in Light World. Thank you, Magic Terra, for that piece of information.
It's actually really interesting because as of right now, they don't really have access to finish, to possibly finish either of them.
Yeah, they could, if they were really brave, go up to Death Mountain with that glove, but with no lamp, you're literally going in blind. Speaking of which, it'll be nice to see Thieves' Town required.
I mean, I would think at this point, with what I've seen so far, I definitely make it really dip into at least the first 4 parts of Thieves' Town. It's definitely clearable. They have a fighter sword. So we got a fake flippers from gamercal, which is an interesting sequence break at this point. Just finished at Hobo. I don't believe Hobo had anything, but probably going to make their way up to the Waterfall Ferry right now.
If there's anything I've learned from watching a lot of these races, you never underestimate the ability to have a big item at the Hobo.
Yeah, and Edgeworth actually has to be pretty careful as he goes to that Zora area.
EvilAsh is going to give us a pedestal check early.
Oh my. Oh no, it's just Couch Cash.
So much for my bastard shovel. Guess I'll have to wait another day. But that trip up to check that pedestal did take Ash a lot of time. And Gesellschaft also taking that time waste going to check that useless pedestal.
I actually think it's a good routing because they're going to go to Thieves' Town anyway. They can just route around from the left side of the Lost Woods area and then wrap to the right. And they can go to either Skullwoods or there because they have to go from the top side anyway. It's definitely an interesting route. It's a very unique situation since they don't have anything that would draw them to like Death Mountain or like a flute to allow them early access to or early and quick access to places like Desert.
King Ripoff being checked by Edgeworth and Blue Mail. Okay, not a complete ripoff.
I'd say it's pretty decent value.
I don't know if it's worth 500 rupees, but if you've got 900, sure, it's worth it.
Unfortunately, Zora has a monopoly on these things. He can kind of charge whatever price he wants. Oh, Ash has got to be a little bit careful here. He's down to 1 Gibdo hit away from death right now.
And hammer strats with a Gibdo, I wouldn't trust myself with those mechanics. gamercal also doing the ped check, and it looks like Edgeworth's going to make it all 4.
Oh man, Evil just made the mistake. Unless he did that on purpose to get to this other area? I think that was a mistake by Evil. I think he meant to go
outside. Is a pendant, so I'm wondering why they're in Skullwoods. Is it just check some quick items and get out?
Yeah, I think so.
Another map check on gamercal, but we already knew everything. Everybody's in Skullwoods.
I really don't fault them considering that it's a pendant and they have access to that side really early. I might as well get those 2 items out of the way if possible.
So Jess decided it's enough with Skullwoods moving onto the village and Ash taking a purposeful death?
Yeah, that was intentional. He was getting a magic refill. Because there is that other small key. So the last stuff is in the back of Skull, which they can't access right now.
Chess game, just a big 20.
This is interesting routing from EvilAsh coming up here to check the bumper cave. I don't know how much I like that, because since they don't even have cape right now.
It also lets you know if cape is necessary, and if you're in the area, it's worth giving it a check before having to walk all the way, just wondering about those loose odds and ends in case you get stuck later on.
Yeah, it's very true. So we're going to get Thieves Town checked from Giselle. There's not really much else they can do right now.
Nah, but at least they can do a full check of Thieves Town since the hammer is in everybody's inventory.
That is indeed correct. And there is not many things worse than routing than having to dip into Thieves Town without the hammer. I've seen important things there too often.
This, I'd have to say, is probably one of the most linear seeds I've seen in quite some time. Everybody seems to be going the exact same route, just very minor variations. Do you check those outside areas or not?
Yeah, I mean, outside of a couple people getting Blue Tunic because they did a quick fake flipper to get to the Zora area, I mean, there's really not much else in the logic they could do at this point. I mean, I guess the only other thing you could possibly I don't know if I'd call it gamble, but they could go to pod. But
I saw a comment in chat, Spike Cave. It's a little out of logic, but it's another one of those random areas where you never know, it might pay off.
Yeah, actually, as Max Plus Pi says, Desert Palace Sahasrarla, or as I like to call him, Sarsaparilla.
Salad Shooter.
Ooh, Salad Shooter is a good one.
But remembering yesterday's key sanity, there was a Ganon's Tower big key right when you started the castle dungeon. Has anybody gone castle yet? I joined a little bit late with the snafu there.
Yeah, actually, no, none of them have actually gone front of escape, which is in the logic right now. They got the access to Dark World pretty early, and everyone was on the same page. Like, yeah, let's do it. Let's tango. And maybe that has the answers, because right now there's not really many answers in Thieves Town.
That would be hilarious, though, if this came to be a complete Dark World red herring.
Oh, no, and Giselle taking a death right there. Oh, that's super unfortunate for Giselle. Is she going to go back?
How far in was she with it? And second choice, yep, she's going to stick with it.
I have a feeling she's doing this because she already got the blind ceiling blown out with the bomb.
Okay, so it's not that big of a reset. Now she just has to do the bottom half, so the top half doesn't have to be revisited. Thank goodness.
Yeah, that's still at least a minute death. If you die at that point.
Gamercal's down to a half heart over in the room right before the upstairs.
Oh man, especially at half a hearth, these crickets are not your friend in this situation.
In that situation, I would just blow Bombos, but they don't even have a single medallion, and there goes Edgeworth with a death.
Oh man. Thieves Town is out for blood. They're trading the blood of these runners on the black market right now.
Well, they've all got at least 500 rupees, so I guess they're getting a good price for it. Not looking like there's a lot of progression items in Thieves Town. It's mostly just money.
Yeah, we'll see if the last item is the last item's here in the big chest. Because they found
Arrow
3
capacity,
so far.
that's it. Oh,
Wow.
Nothing but a crystal.
So, yeah, there's going to be people going with various amounts of health right here. Evil's a little safer at, what, 5.5 now. But those heads do 2 damage, so the big thing is for you to avoid the heads at all costs.
Blind may say if you're a baker, don't loaf around, but you can't loaf around against Blind if you only have a fighter's sword. This is going to be a long fight for everybody.
Really nice fight from EvilAsh. Oh, and Giselle pulls it out. Got hit by one of those heads that's swinging near the top end. Okay, they both get their crystal. Let's see if gamercal can... a little safer with Blue Tunic. Let's see if he can nail it as well.
As Edgeworth is coming down from upstairs, going to rescue Blind from downstairs.
Nice fight from gamercal. And oh man, is EvilAsh really putting off? Oh, is he not? Is he going to desert? Or has he even been to Southside? He might not have been to Southside yet.
Maybe, and apparently you learn something new every day with the randomizer. Chat's informing me that even if you have a fighter sword, Blind still takes the same amount of hits, does not matter what level of sword, so I was completely wrong being worried about that fighter sword Blind. As Giselle's going to see what the uncle has, finally getting some castle exploration. Just a big 50 there.
Yeah, it's actually one thing when I started running Rando a couple months ago. That's one of the things I learned as well. It's very useful to know. It's a little more finicky with fighter's sword, but it's definitely doable once you understand how the first 2 phases work. And yeah, we are getting a desert check. So we're gonna get an Agana probably straight in Desert Ledge and then Desert Palace.
So it took almost 25 minutes, but we're finally getting some divergence in paths. Let's see if it pays off for either of our 2 right side runners. As gamercal is going to do some digging.
I always love the ding game music.
Yeah, the game tunes are a bit catchy, but everybody's just coming up with more money. 5 from the digging game, 300 from Agana, and a big 20 from the first chest in Castle Basement.
You know, if they find any more money, the game's going to be renamed to The Legend of Zelda: Bank to the Past.
Yep, definitely got some potion funds in abundance this time. But not a bottle to put them in.
Oh, we've got progression, boys and girls. That, my friends, is a mirror.
A mirror is fine, well, and good. It still doesn't give us mountain, but you can do some warping between the worlds to do a little bit of exploring.
So I think at this point in the logic, the based on what we've seen, the last item for progression needs to be at either Eastern or
Catfish?
Boom Shakalaka. Oh, yeah, actually, like Pyramid could have something. Pyramid or Catfish could have something as well. And possibly Pod, even if it's bow locked, you could get the first item in the first chest. So there are a few other things in the Dark World, just not much. No one has done done EP or Sahasrara Recitador.
If they think Catfish like I did there, then maybe we could get an Eastern Palace pod area exploration.
I weirdly feel like this is one of those seeds where you have your items like, well, I didn't defeat Aghanim, but I still feel like Pod's the only play.
So like, I've got Haber, I've got Mirror. This usually opens the world. It's not. Why isn't it? This makes no sense. The key pivotal items that everybody's usually hanging on are the only things we have. Let's see if Zelda's chest has something good.
Fortunately, just a big 20. And we see Edgeworth finally going to Eastern Palace area. So we will now know what the Shakalaka Master himself has in his closet.
Big 20, Bloomerang, and Piece of Heart, I believe.
Still doesn't really open up anything.
Thank you, Tylo26, for that subscription with Twitch Prime and supporting Speed Gaming.
Thank you very much, Tylo.
Looks like EvilAsh has the same idea, going east.
Yeah, as of right now, I believe the people who didn't die are, well, I don't know, I don't think Gamercal did die. I think so. Both people who died are just about 1.5 to 2 minutes behind. So that Thiefstown death is costing in the early game right now. Definitely can be made up later.
And everybody seems to be falling in line with the same progression, except Giselle, who's doing the desert dive and hoping... Yep, there's her mirror.
Yep, and we are boots locked. I didn't see that earlier when EvilAsh went in there, or gamercal. So we are boots locked in desert.
Now here's an interesting premise.
There, go for it.
The two critical crystals are Eastern and Desert, which are both pretty easily accessible now. Are we gonna have something huge at the Pyramid Ferry?
You know, it's definitely looking like it. I mean, at this point, with what they have, if they get a lamp here pretty soon, oh, we got flippers, but that still doesn't really. Well, okay, that opens up Pendant Swamp. Remember what I was talking about earlier?
Oh, Swamp Palace. Well, at least it's not Key Sanity. We know where the first key is. The question is, are we going to end up with that hook shot to be able to go all the way through it? Because also, it is Pendant of Courage, so we'll get another item from that.
See if we get anything else here. Right now, there's the big chest and the logic for EvilAsh. I would guess if this is nothing, is going to leave.
Big Chest Eastern was a bottle, so Sick Kid is now available.
Okay, so now we know that Aghanim was not required for a bottle. And it looks like Giselle might be making the play onto Pod. And then maybe mirror into Eastern. Oh, nope, never mind.
Fake flippers, check what's on the lake island. Looked like a big 20 to me. I couldn't catch it. It was pretty quick.
That's what it looked like. Oh, and we've got our next sequence break right now. We've got gamercal going up to Death Mountain without the lamp.
EvilAsh doing a partial sequence break going through the dark room there in Eastern.
Okay, it looks like there was nothing. It looks like a piece of heart maybe in the Spectacle Rock Cave. So gamercal is going to go up to Tower of Hera, except for this is completely out of the logic, right?
Chat's saying hook shot. Giselle got hook shot? Where was it?
Oh, Giselle got hook shot on the pyramid. I was on the pyramid.
Oh, that's nice. That opens a lot of things.
Okay, that actually makes Pendant Swamp completely clearable right now. I mean, it opens up other stuff right now, but right now on the logic, that opens up completely Pendant Swamp. At least in commentators no mode.
Like we're go for fetch quest, and chat's saying something about a mushroom. Mushroom, was that an ether tablet mushroom?
Yeah, mushroom was on the ether tablet apparently.
The fetched quest dream is real.
They just got to find that sword. But Faraime made a good point. It's very, very plausible Lamp could be in a swamp right now. It's really hard to tell who's even at an advantage right now.
Yeah, we're just waiting for that next item that opens up the next layer of this onion.
And I can already tell this onion is a pretty thick onion right now.
Let's take a look over gamercal and see if the Trolldorm lives up to his name, or if that's the key to opening this all up.
Man, I had to do Hammer Blind yesterday in that key sanity race, and I was needless to say, I'm not a fan of Moldorm in general, but doing Hammer. Oh my god! That is the bow right there, folks.
So since you mentioned yesterday's key sanity, we're just not going to mention a Misery Mire today?
Hey man, I went to Myers second in that. I completed Myers second in that seed.
Ah, so you didn't get trolled by that big key. Nice
Nope.
choice.
I laughed super hard though. I'm like, this is one of the worst key placements I think I could ever imagine.
And without the boots, gamercal is doing the long walk of Spiral Cave.
Hey, snap out of it, man. No sleeping here during the commentary.
Sorry, I got my caffeine source ready.
Oh, nice. Caffeine is always necessary.
Another bottle over in Eastern Death Mountain.
So, what is this? Let's talk about what does this open up? Now that we know that that bow was sequence broken, and Gesellschaft is going to get it here pretty soon.
Well, Giselle goes over to the eastern half of the mountain, but Dark Death Mountain on the eastern side isn't open, so never mind what I was about to say about Hookshot Cave. And that's a Master Sword and Paradox Cave.
Oh boy.
The question is, does gamercal know about that mushroom, and are we going to see fetch quests?
I believe gamercal was the one that checked originally when we found out it was, so as far as I know, they know it's there. What is EvilAsh going back to Skull Woods for?
I don't know, but if that Ether Medallion's got something big, it's going to be badgering the rest of our runners for quite some time.
Oh, routing to the oh, okay. That was interesting routing. Let's have the myths. Yeah, I actually like that routing.
Just shortcutting through, okay.
Yeah. It's nice. I forget that you can do that.
The old man just had a piece of heart.
All right. So it's really interesting right now because the only
going.
That's a good question. And
just took the warp up to
oh, to the mushroom. Okay.
Okay. It looked for a minute like she was going to perhaps warp to Dark World and take a trip to check the other the Bombos location, which might be the next goal.
That seems like a reasonable play right now.
knock both pedestals out of the way. Just bombs. And there's a reset.
Oh, are we going to get a Swamp Palace play from EvilAsh? I think we are.
Pen and courage. Sometimes that item's the one that does it.
You know, the crazy thing right now is it's still mostly clear. You can't get to Argus right now, but that's generally fine because you still have access to four. No, how many things do we have? I think 9. There's 9 in there, so 5 chests I believe you have access to.
Yeah, so Western Swamp will be done, but without Hookshot, it will not be a full clear. Interesting comment from the chat. With gamercal doing a reset instead of a save and quit, the mushroom was saved for use of fake powder. Interesting.
That is true. They just need the account. Oh, there's Titan's Mitts in the first chest of, well, the second chest technically, but the first item chest. So EvilAsh has a, I'd say EvilAsh has a pretty large advantage right now. Because...
And Mitt opens up quite a lot. There's all Eastern Death Mountain. Oh, there's a lot of possibilities now. Now, Flute and Myers open.
Mm-hmm. Well, technically speaking, in the logic, none of Death Mountain is still open. So, what that does open, though, is some of the extra overworld stuff. Like Hammerpeg Caves, taking Jeremiah back to his home. So a couple of things have now, Gary's Lunchbox.
Brett Smith's Lunchbox. Pegs.
So as much as, yes, the other 3 runners are getting the bow and whatnot, that might take them on a wild goose chase right now.
And there's a big key in the compass location of Swamp, so we'll see a big chest real quick.
Oh, Bombo.
Bombos, we have a medallion.
Coin collection has officially begun for this seed.
But with Mitts and Hammer and that Death Mountain discussion, no cane, so we can't do a Turtle Rock poke just yet.
We have Death Mountain access. Gamercal is now officially back on Logic. Just found the lamp in pod.
Lamp in pod. Oh. Well, Giselle's gonna find that shortly, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, Chad makes Bali makes a good point. Ice Palace is actually open in the Logic now with Bombos. Like completely clearable.
Yep,
and it's
fire on not
as
necessary.
Well. So do you think, what's your bet? Do you think EvilAsh is going to find something on left side of Swamp, or do you think gamercal is going to find the next piece of the puzzle here in pod?
I think Swamp is pretty much done for. Enough good things have been found, or I think there can't be anything else good in Swamp. Of course, I can be proven wrong. It has happened before.
If it does, I will be taking applications for the Church of Swamp Palace.
Edgeworth's about to go in Paradox Cave.
Ooh, we got powder. Well, that just opens up even more overworld stuff in that Kakariko area.
Sort of, because again, that fake powder, we sort of had it to begin with. Now everybody will find it without having to do the ether medallion.
The left side swamp was a bust, but I'd say pretty large value from Swamp Palace in this seed so far.
Mitts and bombos are nothing to complain about.
No, not at all.
Gamercal's gonna try that bomb jump one more time.
I have a question for
bypass
you.
It. Never mind.
I have a question for you, JTN.
Fire away.
Since you just got the mitts and bombos in quick succession, would you be the type of guy that would have the cojones to gamble on Pendant Ice Palace in this situation?
I'd be the kind of person who would at least go and check what is required for Total Rock. Because even though we know where the hookshot is, the fact that hookshot has been seen in Hookshot Cave, just that area is just too tempting to me. There's too many chests in the zone.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. I mean, definitely once Ash makes his way over to Pod. And looks like EvilAsh is going to do the overworld stuff we were talking about. Oh! Everybody raise your swag ducks. We have a flute.
You gonna warm up that voice for a national anthem in a bit?
No. I'm not gonna sing, but I leave that to Dr. Bob Tastic. He provides the best lyrics and singing. I about died when I heard him do the Don't Stop Believing lyrics the other day.
Ash checking the pegs.
And Giselle is going to finish off Crystal Eastern Palace in the dark.
Gotta admire going into an area like that without the lamp.
Fant, yes, I know I have sung before, but I have nothing prepared. I hate to disappoint you. And as scary as these dark rooms seem in Eastern Palace, it's definitely the easiest one out of all the quote-unquote dungeon areas. I think a lot of people talk about Myra being the worst one. I think only the first room is bad, but I'd say that the first room and coming from the back of Escape is awful.
Giselle's getting close to Armos. We're going to see our first boss fight at about 50 minutes here. Followed closely by our second with Helmasaur King by gamercal.
And gamercal showing off some nice little strats right here. If you actually continue to hold out the sword while you hammer, you will actually never be hit by Helmasaur King.
You will also never turn around, which is very important too.
Exactly. Nice fight with the Master Sword and regular arrows from gamercal, and a nice NMG Armos fight from Giselle on the other side.
Bombos tablets, just health.
All right, And Giselle is going into pod after just finishing. He's going to get the lamp, and then Wish would just routed pod first.
And avoided all that stumbling in the dark. Though I guess it's appropriate. She's got the Dark Zelda sprite.
It's true. Definitely one of those situations where there's nothing bad about using the dark sprite. I mean, it's just black and dark in there anyway. At least we know the developer's contrast on the screen was consistent.
So, which situation would you rather be in? Bow or Mitt?
You know, that's a tough decision. Generally, the way I view it is more stuff opens up with Mitts over Bow. I mean, yes, completing pod is nice, but if you get the flute, like what gamercal has already gotten and what Giselle will get here shortly, I mean, you can't get into Misery Mire.
Yeah, the Mitt plus other things definitely has that allure that Hammer just doesn't. Or the boat just doesn't, rather.
EvilAsh is getting a safety potion.
Can't blame him with all the money we've been getting. Big 20 on the island, speaking of which.
Oh, we're getting a Pen and Ice Palace play. Oh boy.
Little risky, Bombos and no half magic. And the other downside of Bombos, that animation is not the quickest thing in the world.
Dude, EvilAsh is just feeling all the pendant dungeons today.
Now every runner on our feature except for gamercal has that hook shot. Is Edgeworth gonna find where that Mitt is and go get that hook shot cave? There's a lot of goodies potentially there.
I unfortunately don't want to say it, but I think that most runners, based on what I've talked with people about, they would rather go into Pendant Ice Palace than Pendant Swamp, and that's gonna deem real bad for a couple of these runners if they go that route.
Yeah, both of these dungeons historically have been rather trolly, so it's... I don't know, I just think it's going to be Hookshot Cave that's the big decider in the end.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a big deal, and the problem for gamercal is, you know, when are you going to route in a pyramid check at this point? You have so many other things open to you right now.
Yeah, we were talking before about a lot of options being open, and now the world is our oyster, and just there's too many options at this point.
Oh, man, Edgeworth is making the Swamp Palace play.
And with Hookshot, this will potentially be a full clear.
I don't think we found anything in Ice Palace so far, although we have only seen one chest, technically speaking. We're going to get a check on at least one of them now.
Have we seen the big key yet, so we can get the big chest, or not yet there?
I don't believe so. It's very unlikely for. I don't think it's. I don't think it's very likely for that to be in the first chest. Although
that
I'm not
must be
sure
why Ash went back up and around rather than risk the bomb jump.
Mm-hmm. So Giselle will be getting her 4th crystal here very shortly.
Gamercal about to be disappointed on a Bombos tablet.
Some love falling from the sky. At least they know the developers are appreciating what they're doing, you know, from above.
And at about 56 minutes in, those joining late, the pedestal dream is over, just couch cash.
Oh, that's a nice little fire shield in Ice Palace. That generally means we'll completely be seeing Mirror Shield in Turtle Rock.
Right shield before laser bridge, that's always helpful.
Yes, it is. And actually, right now, laser bridge is still technically not in the logic to have anything because they don't have the Cane of Burna, the Cape, or Mirror Shield.
Yep, no Cane of Samaria, no Fire Rod to access the chests in the upper right area of the first floor.
Also, we might be getting a full clear of Swamp from Edgeworth over here. Unfortunately, he's gonna be disappointed by what's on the left side. Nothing.
Bat with a heart container. Yeah.
We're gonna get our food activation. Oh, but first, never mind.
Cane of Samaria in the big chest of Ice Palace. Both pendant dungeons proving to be essential.
This is so trolly, but at the same time, this makes me slightly happy that not only was Swamp required, but that multiple, like the fact that multiple pendants are required. Like, it's not a Turtle Rock pendant requirement, but it sure is pretty darn close to how trolly it is.
And Ash gets that and says, enough of this Ice Palace, I'm moving on to something else.
Oh boy. Well, this race just turned to be very interesting right now. I honestly can't call it at this point because on the one hand, you know, Gamercal and Giselle both have 4 crystals, but they are on such a wild goose chase right now. Whereas EvilAsh and Edgeworth logically are on very much the right path.
It's dungeon clears versus items. That's the clear difference here. And ironically enough, the people where they're on the wild goose chase, the goose is loose for those 2 only.
Yeah, and you know what's the crazy thing too? And I didn't even realize this until now because we've had so much other weird stuff going on in this seed. But remember, we know that boots are required to complete desert. So we don't know where those boots are. They could be in Turtle Rock for all we know. If we find the Fire Rod before the boots, I mean, or we have to find both rods, technically speaking, but it's very possible that they could be in Misery Mire, which possibly could be open with Bombos.
Now, here's an interesting idea. The swamp was not full cleared either. So are boots held by one of those dungeon bosses?
Oh, never mind. I was corrected by chat that boots were found in the back of swamp. Oh boy.
So definitely pays to go the full swamp. Wow, can't believe I missed that on screen.
So we can confirm that not only was a partial dip into Ice Palace required, but pretty much a full dip into Swamp Palace was required. That's pretty dirty right there.
Yeah, I think we jinxed this seed. We're saying, oh, this isn't trolly at all, and then all of a sudden these kinds of things happen.
Faraime saying, well, good thing my computer crashed and I didn't join this race. You mean you don't want to get it on the trolley seeds, man?
I think Frame has seen enough trolley seeds for the week.
I don't blame him. Unfortunately, gamercal is going to be very disappointed by what he just found, a catfish. And yeah, I don't. Has gamercal? I thought gamercal turned in mushroom.
Might be doing so on the way back if gamercal hasn't already. No, she turned it in and then did the reset, so it undid the turn in.
Oh, well, skipped it anyway. Wonder where gamercal. Oh, gamercal's probably going to pyramid, and is gonna get hookshot.
And we might see a few rage slashes after that. Ooh, now with a master sword. Oh, never mind. This isn't a key sanity. We don't need to worry about Castle Tower. It's just keys. It's just keys.
Settle down over there, cowboy.
Always helpful to keep in mind. What kind of seed am I running again?
It looks like gamercal might be making the play onto Swamp Palace. And so is Giselle. But unfortunately for them, this is only half of the puzzle.
They both have hookshot though, so they can at least get the boots in the back. So maybe not half the puzzle, but more like 2/3.
Oh. I think Giselle was thinking about leaving, but decides against it. I mean, really pondered on that for a good probably 10 to 15 seconds.
Remembered not to drown the key.
Yes, that's correct. What Miss Metro said. Mushroom was on the ether tablet, which turned out to be nothing. It was an all a ruse fetch quest. So we're at a very interesting crossroads in this seed. Do you feel like any of these runners in particular is ahead right now, or has an advantage over the rest of them?
There's an advantage somewhere, but based on what we have not found yet, just don't know who has that advantage.
I'll just respond to what Chloe Prower is saying. Also, that is why I'm hesitant to say that Edgeworth has the advantage, because they need to go to Ice Palace, and right now all of Eastern Dark Death Mountain is open, and that might be delayed further. Also, where is this fire rod? Can we actually ask that question?
Fire rod, ice rod. I mean, we're gonna have to beat Trinex at some point, and that ice rod, as you know, can be anywhere.
Yeah, that's very true. And I don't think we've gone a Bonk Rocks or King's Tomb check from Edgeworth either.
No, because we got the boots so late.
Yeah. Edgeworth having a little bit of trouble in that room with the cycles, but goes through it unscathed.
Yeah, question chat on Graveyard Ledge. It was checked. I don't think there was anything major there, though.
No, there was not.
All right, Argus, what do you got this time? Besides a green pendant.
Giselle struggling a bit on this Argus fight. It's a little finicky with Master Sword, and it's hard to hit him from the bottom because if you don't spin slash, their hitbox will actually hit you from the bottom side.
Quite true.
And looks like gamercal's gonna quote unquote catch up. Because I actually think that gamercal's checked more places. So I think that gamercal might have the advantage as far as, knowledge of the seed.
Yeah, I'd be willing to say that. Item-wise, I believe, except for that mushroom, which doesn't matter, they're pretty much tied in what they have. But knowledge-wise, there's definitely a difference.
Yep, exactly. And we're gonna see EvilAsh go into Paradox Cave and get their their Master Sword. And I have a question. If you're in this situation and you've cleared as much of the world as you have, and it's Bombos, do you make the gamble and see if there's an item in the first chest of T-Rock? It's not a massive gamble, but it is a gamble.
Not a gamble I would take just for one chest. I'd rather be hunting down that flute and seeing what Meyer has. And it looks like Ether's needed to open it, but there's 2 chests in that little cave just west of Meyer, and there is checkerboard, so at least that opens up 3 chests before the Turtle Rock 1. And 3 is greater than 1, last this math professor checked.
That's correct. Unfortunately, no ether there. I've got a feeling Giselle's going to go back into to Desert Palace right now.
Did we see what was on Desert Ledge already? Or is this going to be the first glimpse?
I believe Desert Ledge was just money. That got checked a long time ago. When people originally went there.
Well, Argus came up nothing, but with that green pendant, maybe Sash has one more item up his sleeve. Or maybe even Cold Stare?
There was red mail. Oh, it is Bombos.
Super Bunny red mail.
Nice. That's a nice place to get red mail, as opposed to inside of T-Rock. We found Quake, which, unfortunately for Giselle, is a little bit of a bait. Not what we need. Giselle not opting, even though getting the big key, opting not to go in and check the big chest. Just gonna go kill Landmolus.
And forget what I said about that green pendant. Apparently, I am colorblind and cannot read the tracker's notes. I'm gonna go clean my glasses now.
Also, we found silvers in Hookshot Cave. I possibly. Yep, unfortunately, not in the logic at EvilAsh. I know it's been an hour 10, but we still don't have one of those items. And 10 hearts is definitely not logic driven. I think, if I remember correctly, in order with Hookshot to get through there, you need about 14 hearts to like safely get through there.
Or lots and lots of goo. Giselle's on Landmolus. Let's see if they have anything good. As gamercal finds ether in the bonk rocks. Are we gonna see a Mire dive? Yes, we are.
Mm-hmm. So this was an overworld, pendant-driven seed.
Definitely heavy on the overworld. This is one that I would have liked to play since most of my strategy, even though I am pretty much a filthy casual. I love the overworld explorer strat, and this time it paid off almost as well as a key sanity run.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. I think at this point, based on what people have checked, it's looking more and more possible that Fire Rod is in Misery Mire, although we'll see. We now have the Fat Fairy that is going to be checked by Giselle.
Two chests there, and there could be something big in one of them. Though, what could be there? I mean, we know where silvers are. If Fat Fairy has both rods, I'm just saying, Fire Rod and Ice Rod in the same place would be hilarious.
That would be. All right, in 3 seconds we will see. Will the items at the pyramid be as thick as the fairy? Well, they got tempered. I'd say that's pretty value.
Yeah, tempered. I'll take that. I'd rather Fire Rod, but I'll take it.
Yeah, as Raging Reynolds said, Ped was Couch Cash. That was found out at like 12 minutes in.
Definitely within the first 20, and all 4 of our featured runners checked it. Edgeworth finding that Bonk Rock Ether. And gamercal's the first to complete the coin collection.
As we see gamercal doing Lance Most fight and trying to do the hammer strats. That is bold.
So knowledge-wise, if I've got this right, based on what we've seen so far in the seed, we know where every single item is for go mode except for the 2 rods?
Yep, that's correct. Which, it sounds like there's still one more item that could not be checked in Ice Palace, I think? I'm not sure about that. All 3 might have been found. And then we have all of Misery Mire. And the first check in Turtle Rock. Because it's Bombos. We have all the medallions and it's Bombos. See Giselle throwing some bombs of frustration.
Ice Palace was cleared. We know Cold Stare has a dungeon item.
Okay, well then we are down to Misery Mire, first chest in Turtle Rock, and I think that's it.
Unless there's some overworld location we missed.
Oh man, this is gonna feel so bad.
This is deja vu of last night. It's coming down to Mire again.
Oh, but Giselle's gonna be so sad. Like, the saddest of sad. When there is no Cane of Samaria in its vanilla location.
That might be Ash's ace in the hole, being the only runner on screen with Samaria.
Sebastian, yes. In the logic, if you have Bombos, Fire Rod can be an Ice Palace. Because Bombos is a fire item, and you can clear the first room, which is a required room.
Yep, Bombos kills freezers very effectively. Nobody has... Wait a minute. Nobody has Shovel. Dig Spot?
Oh, you're talking about a shovel spot.
It's not a Master Shovel, but I'll take it at this point.
That would just be the biggest kick to the to where the Sun Zone Shine area. If they got Shovel and Mire.
Unfortunately, however much I want to see that Master Shovel, if you did join us late as it is an hour 20 in, the pedestal was just couch cash.
And also Silver's was found. Silver's was in Hookstock Cave. Actually, East Dark Death Mountain was very value. It had Red Mail and the Super Bunny chests, which are the 2 chests that you have to route around between a couple caves. Transitions. And Hookshot Cave had the Silvers.
The left chest of Paradox Cave also had something big. I forgot what it was, but there was something definitely big there.
Master Sword.
Yeah, that would be big.
Well, I mean, unless this is a swordless seed, then swords don't matter. Oh, there is a rod. The restream, I can't tell which one it was, but we have a Rod and Mire.
I think that's fire.
Yeah, I actually think you are correct. That was Fire Rod, and there's the big key.
Thank you very much, Ms. Metroid, for tracking that bottom half and telling us it was indeed a fire rod. Also, kudos to our other tracker, Chloe Prower, doing the top half.
Oh, did they? Oh, wait a second. Wait. Was Ice Rod in there too? Where's Ice Rod?
No, that was the same fire rod for gamercal, if that's what you were looking at.
Oh, I saw people in chat are trolling me here. You're getting me too excited, man. Come on, chat. You can't just say Ice Rod and like willy-nilly like that.
Ice Rod away from what is commonly being called commentator go mode. Where do you think it is?
Honestly, I'm calling a mirror shield find in T-Rock to laser bridge Ice Rod. That's how I'm seeing the seed play out. This seed has been too mean to people for it to be in Skullwoods. Oh man. Oh,
Giselle is looking to finish the Dark Woods, but backwards. Gonna reverse clear this dungeon, apparently.
Already cleared the front.
Pardon the technical difficulties. Apparently, we're going into slideshow mode for a little bit.
What happened to Giselle right there? It ran out of magic? Oh, yeah. Giselle missed a couple fire shots and ran out of magic, so has to do it again.
Either that or clutched. Or as Zelda 1 fans call them, wall masters.
That's true. Fortunately, couldn't tell. We were in slideshow mode. Want to let you guys know that this daily race has been brought to you by Microsoft PowerPoint.
Or like Microsoft PowerPoint 97.
Oh man. Nice Mothula fight by Giselle. What if you're very unaware of why it looks like she only took 3 hits to kill Mothula? If you actually have Tempered Sword, you can do a dash right there and get a double hit if you time it correctly. So then it only requires 2 more hits after that.
And with Skull Woods being cleared with a green pendant, now we can see what Salad Shooter has. There, got it right this time.
Yeah.
Yes, we know we have the green pendant. Next slide, please. Thank you.
gamercal is gonna get his silver arrows.
Silver's Hookshot Cave, pretty good.
Looks like we're back. Oh god. This is an interesting check. Did we ever get the sewer room and escape?
I don't think so unless somebody was doing it in complete darkness, because there were a lot of people doing some stuff in the dark. If this is Ice Palace, I've got nothing to. Never mind. Oh,
No.
Continue on. Continue on.
Please
No heart
continue with
attacks.
your scheduled programming. And unfortunately for Giselle, just not willing to go to Ice Palace, whereas gamercal made the call and be like, all right, you know what, we're gonna go to Ice Palace now. It might be the only thing that gamercal honestly has left.
Edgeworth also in Ice Palace, so Giselle's the only one that has not seen the ice. Instead of falling for the mushroom trap.
And this is good for EvilAsh. He's going to go back into Swamp Palace and finish the back half and get boots so they can finish Desert Palace. And that will effectively tie this ball game up.
Oh, Giselle's trying to do a Turtle Rock? But no Canis Samari is just going for Dark World access right now.
It might be Dark World access. All of the... Oh, sorry about that. I just to respond to chat. All of the Dark Village of Outcasts overworld has been checked. I kind of like that routing choice from Giselle. You're going to be going in there anyway, so you might as well open it up now so that when you go up there and you can go the shorter way if you want.
Yeah, I think she's just hoping that Hookshot Cave has the access to Turtle Rock and maybe a potential time save, but as we are so close to no mode, that is not going to be helpful this time.
We're going to be with bated breath until one of those guys turns in the green pendants or EvilAsh makes their way up to Turtle Rock. Oh, it was a big 20. Thank you, Miss Metroid. I did not notice that. I was too concerned about the Ice Palace stuff.
So Salad Shooter being useless, we're still on that Ice Rod hunt, and I think it's gonna have to be Turtle Rock. I mean, what else is there? I'm running out of ideas.
Edgeworth just getting the Canis Samaria right now for the big chest.
Ash gets boots.
Yep, Ash gets boots. So the question now for gamercal and Edgeworth.
Gamercal and Edgeworth, go ahead. I thought you were going to say Gamercal and Giselle going to get that Canis Samaria, but what else?
Do you go Misery Mire or you go Turtle Rock?
Apparently it's Mire. Not liking that lack of Fire Rod halting progression through Turtle Rock, so good idea for Mire first.
And gamercal now, the gamercal now officially has the cane as well. It is going to have to double dip into mire.
Or is gamercal going to go straight to T-Rock?
Nope, double dip into mire. Man, this is getting really tense because we still are not going to know where the ice rod is. Because I believe both items have been found in mire, so all they have to do is get the crystal.
Ice Rod and Turtle Rock. How many times has that become the ultimate troll of a seed? I mean, it's overplayed.
And I
or
hope
it could be shovel. It could still be shovel.
Oh man, oh god, a required double dip into TR just sounds like hell. I have seen a seed with that though before.
Well, I think you may be able to save some time on a Turtle Rock double dip if you put your warp back to Dark World outside of one of the caves you can jump down to. Then on your way back, use that to cut out half a Turtle Rock to make it not so bad.
Meow Sticks in chat with the ultimate troll. Just give them shovel and cape, and then make them choose whether they want to check shovel or burn a cave first.
I believe we saw that Bumper Cave is worthless already, though. So
no, the Spike Cave.
Oh, Spike. I think also Spike Cave might have been checked, but it's not in the logic.
It's not in the logic.
Oh, the seed.
I will say,
2 fetch quests, one pays and one doesn't. Oh, that could be the decider.
Giselle, you have hookshot. Okay, there you go. I was trying to put bombs down to kill the little jellyfish.
Alright, Vitreous, what do you got?
I did not see it, kind of skipped right there. Oh, wait. Oh, boy. That was the ice rod. Both rods were
Vitreous with the ice rod. So much for the Turtle Rock dream.
So, I think you know what that means, JTN.
Go mode.
Or as as I like to sometimes do the Spanish soccer announcers, the go, 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 go. So now gamercal is off to the races.
Our apologies if you're wearing headsets, folks.
I still think Shovel's on Laser Bridge.
Shovel and Cave, but they're both irrelevant.
I think it's safe to say I've never seen a seed where both rods were in mire. And especially where it was kind of like, for one guy, it was a required double dip. Or, I wouldn't say required double dip. It was just a very trolly double dip.
So now that we're in go mode, the question is, what items do we not know where they are, just for sort of completeness sake? Red Boomerang still MIA. The Shovel, Keen O'Brien, Cape, Last Sword, Last Shield, and Half Magic. I think that's everything missing, and everything not marked. Yes, Silver Star, everything not marked, obviously, and yes, 2 bottles.
Correct. I believe that is it. So, oh, well, there's Kate.
Oh, that clip just linked in chat. I remember this. The cave west of Misery Mire had both canes in it once during the tournament.
Oh, I think I remember that seed. I forget who it was. I'll have to look at the clip later. But I do remember that seed. So, unfortunately for EvilAsh, since had full Clearmire, kind of behind right now, or just got passed by Giselle. Edgeworth is a little bit in front of Giselle, and gamercal is a pretty substantial lead, being about half the dungeon in front, and the trip up to Death Mountain. Or that is true what Vengeful Tyler said. We do know that one of the bottles is on the Lumberjack ledge, so we're short a bottle.
Yeah, I think at this point we're good to say that gamercal is in the lead.
Yeah, substantially. I think gamercal needs to find one more key to be able to go mode it, like clear go mode it.
Well, since gamercal is approaching Ganon's tower, do you want to turn on the counter towards a specific guessing game?
We have to wait until he's done, but also I don't believe we are supposed to be doing it for the daily races, only for the tournament. But people can do it anyway once gamercal beats Trinex.
So completely unofficial here.
Yep. So since people have been using this a little more recently as a unit of
no laser bridge check.
Yeah, unfortunate. Because got the other key. How many Ganon falls do you think gamercal is ahead right now?
How many Ganon falls? Man, you are referring to last night's run.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to trigger anything. I didn't watch it.
You get this horrible deja vu of 2 people making 3 Ganon falls in one race. Not a standard unit of measurement by my opinion, but maybe 5?
Yeah, I think that's probably accurate.
But a Ganon fall is not a precise enough unit of measurement. You have to say which stage of Ganon fall.
Obviously when you're one hit away. Because that's like the worst feeling. That's happened to me way too many times.
I hate to admit this, but once I did fall after clearing Ganon, and the doorway to the Triforce opened, because I just had to see what would happen if so, and I had to fight Ganon all over again.
That is... I am sorry, friend. I would not wish that upon my worst enemy. Alright. So hope you guys got your guesses in early.
I guess 13, like always.
I always go for 11. That is my lucky number for ages. Oh, well, never mind. Gamercal, what were you looking for in the second chest? Gamercal.
Maybe a Kate O'Brien? You never know.
Wait. Hello? Gamercal, you just got the big key. What are you doing, man?
Looking for gold?
Oh, he's looking for a small key. I'm sorry. I got too hyped by the number 1. Going for a small key. He has to get 1 small key before you go up. I totally passed my mind. I was too hyped.
Note to self, Ganon's tower does not just require 1 big key, it also requires 1 small key.
Well, let's hope that everyone goes right side when they get there. Because if they go left side, they are, that's gonna feel bad.
Cape is in Turtle Rock. Oh, we knew that already. I missed it. Derp.
It's okay. We both had our derp moment. We're allowed 1 per stream.
I've definitely went over my quota already.
Gamercal making really good work of that full ice room. That full ice room with the 1 mini Stalfos in there is really a pain. Nice 1 cycle as well, the Gamercal. Or I guess technically a 2 cycle.
Giselle's about to start the Trinex fight.
And looks like we got our first dot done.
Oh, interesting, going from behind. First one done, let's get the details, how much time and all that.
Oh man, within 14 seconds of each other. We got Solsky in first with a 144.37, followed by Mr. Barry Bonds of 144.51. GG to both of them. I'm gonna reckon they went to Ice Palace early. Just my thought, though.
Probably. We did see quite a bit of stumbling around for that key item for a while here, so probably that was where the big time save was. Yeah, Peter and Barry Bonds in the top rankings for quite a while this week.
He's actually been one of the, I've been watching his stream a lot recently, and he's helped me out with a few important things to help me up my game. He's a pretty knowledgeable guy.
Trolldorm living up to his name for gamercal.
Oh, we got one Trolldorm fall. One Trolldorm fall.
I'd equate that to half of a Ganon fall.
I think that's pretty safe. It's at minimum a third. Oh, and there's another one. Also, wow, we got a third and fourth place within 11 seconds of each other.
Wow.
Oh, and fifth within 4 seconds of that. Holy moly.
15-second span, 3 finishes. Let's get those details.
Got Acta Boker in third with 146.07. 11 seconds behind that, Evanitis in fourth.
Trolldorm strikes again.
And 4 seconds behind him, Indispensable. So top 5 has been rounded out.
And Giselle is trying the left side, gets the Riot Shield out the left side. And probably a couple Rage Slashes coming since she's starting down the right. 4th time's the charm for gamercal on Trolldorm. Are we going to see validation? Peace out.
Oh no! Did Evil just take a death on Tridex? Oh no!
And no safety cave.
Oh
that
no!
is costly.
That is.
That's a catastrophe.
That's so bad. That actually is the worst death in TR. So we're getting an Aghanim 2 fight, and I believe that was a 3 cycle from gamercal. So very nice fight.
Yep, pretty clean Aga 2, and we'll see what Pearl of Wisdom Ganon has for us today. I don't think you can even convert that one to Ganon Falls Song Leaves.
TGH just finished in 6th place with a 148.22. Some nice, a nice little dairy fact from Ganon today. You know, looking out for all the nutrition that we need.
Just gotta remember one thing about cheese. Puns related to cheese are no Gouda.
Nice fight so far from gamercal going into the 3rd phase.
Good 1 cycle of the Wizrobe room for Giselle in Ganon's tower. Alright, Ganon, quit shaking the screen and freezing the streams.
And gamercal gets the torch glitch. And triple? No, a double. And that is the final shot.
Single, double, single, and in a moment, GG.
And we have another kind of close finish between 7th and 8th. Elminster finished in 7th with a 149.26, and our first restream person at 8th place is gamercal at a 149.51. GG to gamercal.
With that misery mire, you better be sorry, Triforce.
See if we can get gamercal in here for an interview.
Should be in just a moment. Edgeworth taking the safety cave. Good idea getting knocked off that laser bridge.
Oh, and the say cart at the end of the laser bridge for the refill.
Well, there's one mystery solved.
Alright, so EvilAsh is now going into the final phase of Trinex. I believe got trolled out by the heads previously.
Giselle with a pretty good Aga 2, about to head over to deal with pork and cheese.
It's kind of a weird combo. I don't know if I'd melt cheese on top of like shredded pork I was having. Well, that doesn't sound... It sounds pretty good though.
I could see it with pulled pork.
Oh man, now you're speaking my language. Pulled pork is delicious.
Edgeworth taking care of Trinex business. EvilAsh opening up Ganon's tower. And Giselle seeing the hole in the floor and taking extreme care not to fall in.
Also, yeah, so it's really unfortunate they're not going, unless they go and search for a sword in GT after they get the big key. The tempered sword that the rest of them found was at the Fat Fairy. And only Giselle and gamercal checked that. Also, we have... Sorry, what were you going to say?
So it looks like Edgeworth and EvilAsh are going to be doing a lot of spins as gamercal joins us. Congratulations, GG.
You there, gamercal? Well, maybe gamercal is having a bit of mic difficulty. We have rounded out the top 10. Ninth place, we have Aerofram with a 150.49. And rounding out the top 10 is It's Supercar at 152.34. And we got 11th place finish from Ink Nun at 153.07.
Unfortunately for our featured streamers, the Ganon fall count is now 1. Sorry, Giselle.
Hey, we can hear you, gamercal.
Okay.
GG, man.
Discord did a weird thing where they changed audio sorts that, but put my headset in, it just doesn't work. Oh my goodness, that modem never went that badly before.
Trolldor living up to the name.
This is why you shouldn't play at 3 in the morning. Just saying.
Yeah, I know you're up late over there in the UK. So sorry, go ahead.
Couple of last possible location things. Hookshot in the big one, and I guess Samaria wasn't quite last spot, but it was getting close to it. But other than that, not too bad, to be honest. The bow from Modern 1 was pretty good, because that let me cleanly clear Pod Eastern, which the lamp was hilarious to find off of that. And Swamp had like everything.
Yeah, Samaria hung up a few people, but what about those rods in Mire?
That was cool. I mean, I went in Mire because it was like, well, if I want to stand a chance on this one with the field that we have, I kind of need to make at least one decent gamble type play here, because honestly, I play 2 stave half the time anyway, as you probably see with, like, I can clear stuff efficiently, but it's very, very safe the way I do things. So, you know, against some of these guys, especially with the gambles that can get made, it's like, I need to do something that way. So, Maya seemed reasonable. You know, if I didn't get Samaria, I could at least get something else that could be useful.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the fact that both you and Giselle actually had to double dip back into Maya because Kane was an Ice Palace. It was also Giselle finished with in 13th place of a 1:54.53, and Bentizi beat her by about 20 seconds for 12th.
Nice.
So Giselle will be joining us pretty shortly here for an interview as well. I wanted to get your take. What were you thinking of as far as going into Pendant Swamp? Because EvilAsh took that gamble at, like, I want to say way before everyone else. And it wasn't ever in the back of your mind to go in there because you had all three pretty much required pieces to clear most of it?
Until I got the hook shot, I actually could do most of it. And, well, it was the only place I had left at that point, actually. So, you know, yeah. I didn't really have a choice but to go in there at that stage, but I really didn't want to go in without the hook shot. So, yeah, because the hook shot, you get so many items out of it with that, and there was just no way that I wanted to take the risk of there being something in the back of there if I was going to go in at all. So, yeah, it kind of was when I got the flippers, but I needed to sort of temper that. There was no way I wanted to go in outside of that.
Edgeworth's coming up, Ganon's Tower, EvilAsh, and Aga 2, and Giselle, welcome, GG.
Hello, GG.
Hello.
I have mixed feelings about what happened, but...
Let me guess. Rods in mire?
No, I mean, the seed itself is fine. Sometimes you just make a mistake or, you know, you pick an option and turns out not to be right, you know. That's okay. I really felt way behind for a long time because of the little things. But the raw mire was okay. I knew mire had to have something. That's why I dipped it a little bit early, because mire always seems to have something for me. But... and I knew I should have gone in Swamp earlier. I was like, this is too obvious. I'm going to do, like, not the obvious thing. And turned out not to work. And I thought Ice too, but I was like, well, if it's not required, that's a lot of time. So I spent some time. And I was like, no, I need to do something. I gambled part of Swamp. I gambled something else. I forget. Gambled a few things. So I'm like, okay, I really hope it's an Ice.
Swamp and Ice were definitely the two gambles to pay, and I forget who it was, but someone did partial Swamp, did not get the boots, and then had to come in a second time for the necessary boots.
Something like that was what I was worried about.
Yeah,
that was EvilAsh.
As soon as I saw that glove, like, I don't know if people saw me, but I hesitated. I'm like, do I go? This opened up, like, some stuff. But it's like, no,
yeah, Trojan
no.
noticed that one.
Yeah, because my thinking was, well, you know, I'm sure someone will get the glove and leave. But I'm like, I'm still missing a lot of items, and, you know, so just to go Swamp. And that was boom, 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 like, item, item, item. And then when I got the boots, I'm like, okay. Like, I even thought of leaving before killing Argus, but it's like, well, if Argus does have something, it's gonna be a pain just to get back to him. So I'll finish him off here, get my nothing probably, and then go from there. I guess for me, it was mainly my play that I wasn't too happy about. Like, you know, because in Rando, different seeds and different things happen. But my execution was a little shaky. And then, of course, falling to Ganon on, like, the last or second last arrow hit is really...
Don't talk to me about falling off stuff.
Like, I never do that, but what happened was I got hit by the fire bat, and I'm like, oh, okay, so when you get hit, the game reads the opposite direction that you're holding. So I'm like, okay, so hold towards the pit. And then the fire bat ended, and I started to hold towards the pit. So the fire bat itself didn't actually knock me off. I walked off.
Oh.
seat on the edge.
You know, the best action is to just not move at all, because then you just don't move anywhere. There's no knockback.
Yeah, it's very true. I was
But
watching.
it's so hard to actually do that on the fly. It's like, you've got to know, okay, I'm definitely getting hit. There's no chance I'm gonna, get away from this. I need to just stop,
Yeah, once
can't.
you're hit, you're already committed.
Yeah.
So it's like you need to immediately know. And I thought that too before, because I was showing a friend randomizer, and I'm like, don't get hit by the fire bats. They'll ruin your day. And then he got hit like 7 times. And I'm like, how are you not like ripped? Like I was getting salty. I was like, you better fall in that hole.
Speaking of falling in holes, Edgeworth eats the troll dorm, and EvilAsh25 will be joining us shortly.
And both of these guys. Oh, sorry. I just wanted to mention before you say anything, gamercal. Both of these guys are having to do Master Sword Silvered.
I thought that might happen. When I saw the Tempered Sword in Pyramid Fairy, I thought it might be the case that a lot of people wouldn't get that.
Nobody found butter.
I want to say that's the only reason I didn't place a lot further behind in this race, is I wouldn't know this, of course, because of seeing runners, but I want to say that quite a few people that finished ahead of me will have done Master Sword here, and that's the only reason that this seed wasn't like sub 140.
Yeah, the sword placements were not very friendly in this seed, as was a lot of other things in this seed.
I liked that lamp though, that was pretty funny. Considering what you're supposed to go through to get that, apparently. That's...
I have a question actually. So, out of all the 4 people that we restreamed, EvilAsh was the only one who never went up to Death Mountain without the flute or without the lamp. What drove you to go up there instead of going to Pod?
Mirror plus Hammer. I could get over to the other side, East Death Mountain as well, so there's lots of potential chests up there. I try and limit my visits to 2 for absolute most. Any more than that, I think you're wasting a lot of the time. But that one trip, I could potentially clear Tower of Error, get a crystal out of the way. I could get 8 items much over on the other side. Yeah, I could have got 7 in Paradox, 1 in Spiral. So I could get, at bare minimum, 10, 11 items, and also use the book to check the tablet.
Yeah, for me it was pretty similar. It was like, as soon as I got the mirror, it's like, okay, I got mirror and hammer, that opens up like the entire mountain. And the seed was really dry to start, so I'm like, well, I need to do, like, I feel like, even if it's not the case, I feel like I'm going really slow. I need to get some sort of, like, areas opened up here. So as soon as I got the mirror, and I thought about going to Pod too, and I think I thought of going Catfish really early too, but I ended up holding off. And as soon as I found the mirror, I was like, oh, okay. I don't care if it's Season's Break. I think it would be, like, I'm sure the lamp will be somewhere, or the flute, or whichever, but I just need to push progress along. So I did the sequence break, and then of course, like, you get bow and stuff, and you're like, oh, okay, cool. I'm really glad to go to Pod. And it kind of worked out from there.
Yeah, I also don't like going to Pod without the bow, which is potentially a weakness in V27, because I don't know if we had some crazy bow placements in this logic, but yeah, I really don't like going into Pod without at least being able to do the bow side as well. So, that would have been almost a last resort sort of play with that.
Yeah, just real quick for me, I usually look to see if I have the lantern, and then kind of see how I feel in regards to the bow and the seed. But if I have the lantern and the bow, I don't mind going into Pod. If you have the hammer and lantern, that's not too bad either. Really, it's just the idea where you have 5 chests locked behind the lantern itself. You only have a couple with the bow, but so for me, I really for me it's the lantern.
That's totally fair. I tend to for me I always like seeing the mirror because it opens up a lot of stuff, and I'm a big overworld person.
Yeah, we both are.
Yeah, so when I get mirror, especially early, I like it because I can route stuff in as soon as I get Titan's Mitts, and it feels very efficient.
Yeah, I probably should have gone into Desert earlier, but it was the case of I'm 1 or maybe 2 pieces away from being able to clear this. I know Sphere Zero book, you always go for it, but I needed to try and make sure that I would be able to do just that. But that didn't work out. There was not really any way I could do that, so oh well. What are you gonna do?
It was too good. It had to be true.
Everybody tends to call the woods the value woods. Didn't really live up to the name today. The one pendant dungeon that really did not tend to pay out.
There was Ether in there, right? That was required for Maya.
Well, it had Ether, yeah, but not like the Swamp Palace. Bombos, boots, meds. Oh my god.
I mean, I think a 1 and 2 as opposed to 3 and 6 is basically the same value, right? I don't know. It had something that was necessary. That's all that mattered to me.
Oh, and right, Ether was in the Bomb Crocs.
Oh, what am I thinking? Because no, because it was only 1 item I missed.
It's okay. I've watched enough seeds where they're all mixing in my head anyway.
I think Ether was in there in the Key Sanity earlier. That's probably what I'm thinking of here.
Which is the other game I commentated on yesterday, so that's probably why.
Oh well.
But GG Edgeworth, all 4 of our streamed participants have finished. So we'll see if either EvilAsh or Edgeworth wants to come in for the interview.
Just gonna say, this is the 2nd time I've been on Ustream where Ganstar Big Key has been the first chest. Or first item. And it's kind of funny because I've gone opposite ways both times. Once it was on the torch, this time it was in the 2 chests otherwise. So that's kind of
I got too hyped after I saw first chest. I'm like not used to it being there. I'm like, wait, gamercal, why are you not going up? I was like, oh, you need a small key.
I need a key.
Oh, I forgot for a moment. Also, welcome to Edgeworth, GG.
Thank you.
Triforce says, I'm sorry. Is the apology accepted or not?
No, I don't accept its apology for putting the cane in the big chest and ice.
That was pretty awkward to get to. There's no small keys in the first part of that, so as much as I, kind of pride myself on having a really good route round ice, I could not get to that quickly at all. There was no way to get to it where the stupid big key ended up.
Yeah, that felt like the super FU chest there.
On top of the loaded Swamp Palace, what did you think of that?
That was kind of crazy, but I saw that I didn't really have anything and Swamp was open, so I figured one of those chests had to have something. And the first one was Titan's Mitts. Like, oh, okay. And then it was like Christmas. It just kept giving.
Yeah, there was a really... Oh, sorry, go for it.
I was going to say, I almost left off the bombos, I will admit. Like, I was sort of thinking if there's a second good item in here, I'm kind of tempted to leave, but then it goes against my nature to do so, so I'm like, no, I'm keeping on going anyway. There's no point taking that sort of risk, so...
I've gotten burned too many times. Minochi and I have talked about this. The game seems to know when you've missed a chest.
Yes, it does.
I was telling JTN as we were commentating, it's like, after the Swamp Palace, I'll be taking applications for the Church of Swamp Palace.
Yeah, we were also thinking, and this came up a few times, Shovel maybe having something, but in the end it did not play.
I was terrified that the mushroom and the ether tablet might have something.
I was gonna say, like, I'd save and quit. I'm like, that mushroom. And I thought of it like all game. But where was the soul?
Who was it that pulled the save and quit on the mushroom?
That would be me. I reset. on the on that like reset emulator, because okay, if I don't ever find the powder, then I can still do the powderless trick with the Cane of Samaria. So it's a case of, well, there's nothing here, but if I never find the powder, then I can use it at the top of Ganon's tower and I can get a heal. So yeah, it's something I do if I got the opportunity.
That's a fair play.
I actually did not know about that glitch until now, so you learn something new all the time when you watch other people play.
Cane of Samaria is busted in the sense that if you have no magic and you try to use the cane and then you immediately switch to the mushroom or powder slot, you get a thing of powder out. And it doesn't matter if it's the mushroom or the powder, you still get the powder out. So the idea there was that, you know, if I never find it, or if I find Cane of Samaria first, I can go and check the magic bat. And failing all of that, like I said, at the top of Ganon's tower, I can use it on the anti-fairies, where you normally use the powder for a health fill. And yeah, no, it's a neat glitch.
That's what I like to call hashtag what a video game.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sure it has something to do with the startup frames, and then when you switch the item, the game value changes, so then it, during like the startup, it becomes active or something. But I guess, and then just to kind of get some closure, like I was thinking like, yeah, okay, go a desert. No, don't go a desert. Like that seems too good. And then like I'm like, yeah, go to swamp. I'm like, no, don't go to swamp. Seems too good. Yeah, no, don't go. Like every time I ignore my gut, I get wrecked.
Yep.
Yeah, that seed also was terrible with pulling all the runners in different directions, because like I felt like, especially when you guys broke the logic until you got lamp, it's like, oh yeah, you can go over here. This is like dangling a carrot in front of you. You go check these like 4 locations.
Yeah, when it was mirror and hammer, it's like, okay, we have these great items for exploring, but what's really open? There's nothing to complement them. So it seemed like we were starting off really fast, and then it just started creeping.
Yeah, it's kind of yucky at different points. It's kind of like, well, do I want to do this? Do I want to, you know, it's, again, like, I can see why Ash went to pod. I was thinking about it too. And then, you know, you got the book, and it's kind of like, well, I don't have the fire source or the boots. So that's kind of, you know, like, it probably has something, but, you know, it's a bit of a walk too. And, yeah, just a little bit all over. I'm really looking forward to the race after, though, the open hard mode. I like saw that on the schedule. I'm like, just like a harder difficulty. That should be pretty fun.
I've got to play
Yep.
this.
And that hard mode will be having Space Cowboy and Fant on commentary, and Voligen, who I was on air commentary with yesterday, and D2 Kemps will be the 2 trackers for that in about 40 minutes.
Nice. Hopefully, I don't play like I did in Thieves Town, and at the end there.
Oh, I was half a heart away from death in Soul of Thieves Town. Don't worry.
I was a heart from death, like the entire thing, and then I forget what happened. I think I just walked into one of those Patrick Star things, like after the switch. So I bombed the upper area, but
I got bullied in Hellway. I lost like 2.5 hearts there. I'd already gone Zora, so I had blue mail, thankfully. But yeah, I was on half a heart for most of the thing. I actually bombed the crystal switch in the spike room just so that I wouldn't have any risk of getting hit by one on the way past.
I was walking to blind. And I think I grabbed a heart for 3, but like 3 heart blind. Colon, eyes, sweat, and colon.
Yeah.
Don't screw up.
I have one last question for Edgeworth. How often do you do Master Sword, Ganon?
So, I do it way more often than I like. I don't know why, but just something with the routing sticks me with just Master Sword, and despite all of my attempts, I'm still awful at it.
Okay.
Where was the sword upgrade?
Fat Fairy.
Okay.
Yeah, Pyramid Fairy was the third one that I got.
And no gold sword knowledge by anybody.
Okay.
Which of course means it's at Moth, right? Because, yeah.
Or it was just way buried in Ganon's tower. Because when you find the big key that fast, and it pays to go right first, apparently.
I call Tile Room based on how that seed was going.
Did anyone check Smiths and Hammerpeg?
No.
Yeah,
I think they're both garbage.
Okay. Honestly, I felt like I checked a lot of Overworld. Some like I don't know, it's a strange dichotomy between Dungeon and Overworld. But when I found Ether, I was like, okay, Overworld was good.
No, I think those and Spike Cave, two Overworld areas I didn't check.
So
Because
I guess
go on.
I guess my last question for the group here, for those who are new to the randomizer, and I'm somewhat new to it, is there anything you could recommend practicing, either from a logic learning perspective or mechanics wise? Obviously, Spin Ganon came up today.
I think boss fights in general would probably be one of the main things I would look at, because randomizer's not always going to be the ideal sources for it. If you get the practice ROM, you can set like the hearts you've got, what sword you've got, if any, etc. And you can really customize just how, I guess, difficult the fight would be. And having confidence in your bosses, like doing blind without a sword, doing Morph with Master Sword instead of Tempered, or fewer hearts, etc. The more that you play them, the more obviously experience you get with it, and the more you can crank it down to the point where you can do ridiculous stuff with it, to be honest. And I think, if nothing else, being able to do some of the fights, if you're going to do open mode, doing some of them swordless would be a pretty benefit, because it just lets you explore areas that you would otherwise not have the confidence to do. Again, like Thieves' Town without the sword, or like Palace of Darkness even without the sword. It's very possible. Even Ice Palace can be done without it if you've got hammer strats down for Coldster. So that's probably what I would look at.
Yeah, that's one that I actually learned, and I actually I was watching Barry Bonds' stream like last week, and he was talking about Fire Sword Mothula, and that's probably the last major one that I need to kind of learn, because I died to it in the race yesterday. But yeah, so I think we're going to start wrapping it up right here. I just want to quickly plug a couple things. The open hard mode race, which these guys were talking about, is happening in about 35 minutes from now. And that's going to be on this channel as well. It'll go live once the restream's all set up for that. And on the main Speed Gaming channel, we have a main tournament top 8 race between Kyong92 and JSR2 Gamers, and that's going to be a barn burner. Kyong's been killing it in general from what I've watched, and JSR is one of the kind of the dark horses getting to the top 8. So definitely go over there as well if you want to get some cool rando action, some really high level play, and give those guys a follow as well. And give the follows to the to all 4 runners here. Also, big shout outs to our trackers, Chloe Prower and Miss Metroid. Couldn't do it without them, keeping us all updated. And thank you, JTN, for calling the audible and helping join me.
Not a problem. Glad to step in when needed, and it's definitely interesting seeing the differences between the various modes. So definitely think I'm going to start playing some more opens, and who knows, maybe someday you'll actually see me on the stream.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah,
So thanks again, Trojan Dude. Been awesome. And I think that wraps it up for us.
All right. We'll see you guys back here in about 30-35 minutes for that race. Have a good one, guys.
And take care.
Good night.